This is Ryan Pierce, host of Completely Serious. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
The simple things in life are the greatest gifts. I came across this quote the other day and I was like, ooh, we need to talk about this. Welcome to Choose to Rise. Welcome to Public House Media. I am so glad that you're here with me this morning, whether you're here with me live on the video. Thank you so much. I love those hearts and likes. Or if you are in the podcast version listening to this later, I so appreciate you taking the time to do so and to share this with other people that you know and love. The simple things in life are the greatest gifts. The simple things in life are the greatest gifts. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about 8 ways to simplify life, how to bring a little more happiness into your life, and to just, relax a little, because complicated things are not always the best things in your life. Complicated things are sometimes the hardest part, and they just make life kind of ugh. So let's simplify. Let's get back to basics. Let's just chill a bit and realize and remember that we are perfect beings created by God, and that we don't need to overcomplicate things. He has done everything we need to do in order to live a good life. So we just have to open our eyes and be with Him. So the first thing that you can do to simplify your life, let's get rolling in this, okay? All right, the first thing you can do to simplify your life is to limit your social media time to 30 minutes per day. Now, don't count the 10, 15 minutes podcast that this is in that 30 minutes. Like, you can use, and I really kind of want to expand that a little bit to like media in general, okay? Because like media in general just seems to make a negative light about a lot of life. And so if you can really focus in your attention on really focusing in on being the positive side of things in this world, you can really and really kind of hone in on the things that are for you and that are for the direction that you want to go. Limiting your social media will not only help you not compare with people, it will help you kind of focus in on the positive things that you want to be focusing on, and help you, be more productive in the day, because we all know we can waste time on social media. So be more productive in the day and get rid of a little bit of it, okay? The second thing you can do is actively remove toxic people from your life. And this may fall into play with the first one of limiting social media. Getting rid of the toxic friends on your social media can really be something that is freeing and eye-opening in how you consume information, and who you consume information from really helps drive your thoughts and your mind in the processes of your decisions and so forth. So actively removing toxic people from your life may be harder than it seems, but it also can be simpler than it seems. Simply not engaging in conversation if you're together at a party, simply not calling, simply not responding to things on social media from them. And you don't necessarily have to unfriend them, but like unfollow them so you don't see their stuff. It is a safer way of doing things, but actively trying to get rid of the things in your life that are toxic will help bring less negativity to your heart and mind, less negative thoughts, and less swirling of self-doubt that will happen inside of you. The third thing that you can do to be a little simpler life is to switch off your phone before 9 p.m. Yeah, before 9 p.m. How many of you, raise your hand, give me some hearts and likes if that would be hard for you. I know it would be hard for me to switch off my phone before 9 p.m. Now, I do a pretty good job of like putting it someplace else at night. Like it's here in my office instead of by my bed, or it's in the bathroom instead of by my bed. Like I'm getting much better at that. I find I sleep much better. I find that I'm not waking up in the middle of the night. I find that I'm able to get up easier in the morning when it's not next to me. So like those kinds of things are helpful, but like switching off your phone, like being disconnected from social media, from all the notifications, from just people in general. People in general know how to get a hold of you if you really need to get a hold of you. And so don't worry about switching off your phone, at least putting it on silent and putting it someplace else. I've got good friends that have a jar in their house that their phones just go into for certain chunks of time so they can be completely present with their children, they can be completely present with their spouse. So like date night, they leave it at home or they leave it in the car or whatever. And so it's just getting disconnected from your phone sometimes can just simplify life. Number 4, remove all the processed food in your house and eat clean. Now, a simple life is also a well-fueled life, because if you can remove all the processed stuff from your house, awesome. I try to eat pretty darn clean in my life. I try not to eat a lot of processed stuff. It happens, but it's far less than it used to be. And I just have more energy. I have more clarity in my mind. I have so much more going on in my heart and my health. So much better because I've removed all the processed stuff. When the processed stuff comes in your house, it comes with a lot of junk too. Like to process it, to create these man-made foods, you have to put a lot of man-made stuff in them. And when you just simplify life and go back to the basics of what God created, what God grows, what God creates with animals and vegetables and all those greens and those kinds of things, those are the simple things of life. And those are going to be what your body's really intended to have in the first place. So go back to that. The 5th thing that you can do to simplify and find some more happiness in your life is declutter your mind by jotting down your thoughts in an app or on a journal or in some shape or form. So decluttering your mind and just getting it all out, whether it's talking to a friend, whether it's journaling. Some people like to journal right away in the morning. I'm one of them. I write down my goals and my affirmations and the thoughts that are in my head here. If I'm having a hard time sleeping at night or falling asleep because I have something on my mind, I get out a journal or I get out some paper at least and start writing. Getting the thoughts down on a piece of paper, because I know that if I go to sleep, they'll be gone. And that's why I'm having a hard time falling asleep, because I can't, I want to keep those thoughts. I want to be able to save them somehow. And I know if I fall asleep, they'll be gone. So declutter your mind, declutter your heart, declutter whatever by just getting it out on paper. And sometimes those can be negative thoughts and feelings like self-doubts and struggles and things. And just getting it out of your system, like that release of those thoughts and feelings out into the world, whether it's on paper or to somebody verbally, is really super helpful to just get them out of your system. It's like taking a dirty bucket of water and like throwing it out into the grass, right? You're releasing all the murk that's inside of the bucket out into the world. And the bucket just is so much lighter when you do that, right? It's same thing to yourself. When you declutter your thoughts and mind get it all done on paper or all done in an app, maybe you do a voice memo, maybe you talk to somebody about it, get it all out of your system and you'll just live a much happier, simpler life. Number 6, I love this one and I really need to do it very soon here. Donate clothes that you haven't worn in the past 2 years. If you haven't worn it in the last 2 years and it's not some like major staple that like a funeral clothing or like something like that, like you can get rid of it. If you've not worn it in 2 years, chances are you're probably not going to wear it again. Now, if they're like gold jeans or like a reminder piece of something or have some major sentimental value, probably okay. But I've got like bridesmaids dresses and like all kinds of stuff hanging in my closets that I'm not ever going to wear again, and I could probably get rid of those things. So donate the clothes that you haven't worn in 2 years. Free up some space in your heart and mind, and free up some space in your closet. Decluttering or cluttering spaces create anxiety, create closeness, create space. They don't create space for new beginnings. So declutter the things, declutter your mind, declutter your closets. It's a great way of doing things. The 7th thing that you can do to simplify life is to digitize your notes and throw away the paper ones. Okay, so I'm a huge computer person. I love taking notes on the computer. I love organizing everything digitally and not having things on paper. However, I do have lots of notebooks, and it would be really easy to take those things and make sure that they were in some sort of digital form, and I could get rid of, declutter my office, you could say, by getting rid of a lot of the paper stuff. Having a lot of stuff around you just complicates life. So if you can digitize your notes, if you can get rid of the paper, if you can get rid of the clothes, if you can get rid of the thoughts, you are much more happy and simple life. And the last one that I've got for you this morning, the number 8, is set your life philosophy so as to guide you when making decisions. So making decisions based on where you want to go in life. If you have a goal of XYZ and decision M is not going to get you to XYZ, then don't make decision M. Does that make sense? Like if you are trying to, run a marathon and, laying on the couch for 2 hours every day is not going to help you get there. But if you go out and run, a couple miles every day, that's going to help you get to your goal. So set your life philosophy so that to guide you when making decisions. So if you have something difficult in your life, or you're trying to make some big choices, like maybe you want to buy a house, going out every weekend for dinner is money that's being spent someplace else and not being saved for your house. So think about things like that. Set your life philosophies to guide you when you make decisions. Digitize your notes and get rid of the paper. Donate the clothes that you're not wearing. Declutter your mind by getting all your thoughts into some sort of app or notes and then digitize them. Remove the processed food from your house and eat as clean as possible. Actively remove the toxic people from your life. Shut down your social media and your phone after 9 p.m. Really disconnect from the world and live in the moment with the people of your life. And I guarantee you're going to find some simpler habits, some simpler lifestyles that are going to help you be clear of heart, clear of mind, and be able to focus in on the really important things. The time with your family, the time with your God, and most importantly, the time with you. You are the person that you're going to spend the most time with in your entire life, so you might as well get to know that person. By getting to know you helps you get to know God, and by getting to know God helps you get to know you. And I just love and appreciate the fact that you've been with me here this morning, learning these simpler habits to be happier, learning these simple habits to make life just a little bit better for you. And if you like this podcast, if you like this episode here, I hope and pray that you share it with someone else. Take a screenshot of it, share it on your social media, tag me, KJP Meyer, on Facebook and Instagram. And I would love to connect with you and appreciate you for loving and sharing this podcast with somebody else. If you are interested in jumping in and learning more about what I do as an independent coach, or being a part of a healthier community, an uplifting community, come join us in the Choose to Rise Healthy Living community. We would love for you to be a part of it. Just shoot me an email at choosetoriseup@gmail.com, and I'd be super happy to connect with you and have you a part of it. We work every day to be active, to eat well, to think well, to inspire and act and promote each other with celebrations of all sorts. So thanks very much for joining me this morning. I know I've said that 100 times, but I really do appreciate you being here. And I hope that you come back again Friday here on the live broadcast or on the podcast version, and check us more out. We're going to be talking about 12 evening habits that you can have to just start your day, your weekend, or your evening getting into a good calm night. So thanks very much for joining me. I hope you have a great Wednesday. Talk to you later. Bye.